I welcome all of you today to our little prayer, our little reflection. Today is the feast of St. John Paul II. St. John Paul II became rather popular for a number of different reasons and in a number of different ways. And maybe the way and maybe the reason, first and foremost, is the fact that he really, I believe, in my own relationship with him as a Catholic priest, is the fact that he paid attention. I think he paid attention to people. I think he paid attention to the way that people were maybe struggling in their lives. I think that became important because if we know the life and the times of John Paul, we know that he too, in many ways, was one who struggled in his own life by the fact that he was raised and was reared in a very difficult situation, namely in Poland during the Second World War and what have you. Today, it is important for us then to recognize, I believe, to pay attention to people, to recognize their many struggles, and maybe we can become just a little bit more compassionate. Remember, as you have heard me say before, when we speak of compassion, there is a little bit of a formula that I use, or maybe even an equation, and that is empathy plus action equals compassion. And maybe in that spirit of John Paul, we can be compassionate like that of Jesus. Jesus, of course, was one who was empathic, but his empathy led to some kind of choice and some kind of decision to reach out to another and to better his or her life. That is what we must do in the spirit of course, John Paul, but in the spirit of Jesus. Let us then be more compassionate, as we know that many people who are walking through a lot of difficulty and a lot of suffering. But in and through all of their struggles, we come to know all the more the very presence of the church, and first and foremost, too, the very presence of our God, who is Savior. I invite you then to not only recover the life of John Paul, but maybe this is a good time, this is a good opportunity to come to know of the call for all of us to maybe take the lives of the saints seriously, maybe to pick out a favorite saint or maybe a patron saint that we have, and ask ourselves, in what way can I emulate his or her life? We do not want to replicate the life of a particular saint because we cannot. But what we can do is take features and begin to, in some way, take those many features of their life and put that into practice in our own life. Remember, we help each other to follow the Lord. The saints, the great intercessors, whether it be John Paul or Francis of Assisi or Martin de Porres, whoever it may be, helps us to follow the Lord a little bit more closely. And in that way, it frees us to be what? Compassionate. Empathy plus action equals compassionate. Life, compassionate love. And therefore, let us live that all the more. Make it a great Thursday, and as we ready ourselves for the weekend, maybe even a snowy weekend, we know that what warms us is the light of Jesus, the risen Christ. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.